But then I also wonder, the more things I have in my wallet, do I value them individually less?
Hmm. There is a thing that I've noticed that happens, that the more projects I collect, it's harder to kind of identify with the projects and be active in each community.
Yes.
I have been I started out with some projects I liked, and then I went really broad for a while because it was fun and there was lots of new projects coming out. I think now I'm definitely, over the last month or two, I've been a lot more focused on um, kind of waiting till projects mint and then seeing like if the founders are still about it, if it's still the real deal, and then uh, going in. I liked Crypto Dads early on just because the way they revealed who they were.
Mm-hmm.
But that seems to be my approach now, and I'm kind of consolidating, even looking at getting into projects that either getting more of projects that I like, or looking at projects that have been out for a while that I haven't gotten into. But I've got a lot of stuff in my wallet that I've forgotten about completely almost. Some of the
Which is
projects are more
tough
or less
too,
dead, but
because some of them, we were talking about shrooms and some of the things yesterday.
yeah.
Uh, there's a point where you actually have to do something in order to extract more value from it. It's very easy to forget, like, because when you have too many things in your wallet, like I
Mhm.
almost missed something for uh, one of the NFTs I'm in the other day, and I think someone mentioned, they're like, "Hey, don't forget to do this." I'm like, "Oh, geez,
Yeah.
yeah, I probably would have missed it," and that's one of the values. And so I think there's this interesting idea of the experience. So we've got this idea of not just owning the art, but then there's this experience underlying it. And if you're an active collector, you are not going to get the value of the experience. So should you discount what you're willing to pay for that? Because you've got certain projects where you just love them, you're gonna stay in touch with
Yeah.
them, and so the value, and you're never gonna sell your last one because you want to be attached to it. Okay, that makes sense, and so you would have the maximum valuation there. But I feel like all the other ones you hold are based on not OPP, but OPE, other people's experiences. So you're saying, hey, I want to be affiliated with this. I like what they're doing, but I probably am not getting full value out of it because I'm not actually going through the experience. I'm just betting that other people will like this experience enough that it'll either maintain or increase in value. Because otherwise, it's really questionable why you should hold it in your wallet.
Yeah, it is. And I struggle with this because it's awesome to see stuff going up in value, and what that means in terms of, for everyone in this space, what that might do for them to allow them economic freedom to pursue what they're passionate about. But in addition to that, I'm passionate about the technology and the space and also art. So it's all these this soup of um, interests. And yeah, it's hard. I feel like I've said this before, but I feel like we're buying paintings in the Renaissance right now. Like, this is a Renaissance, and I want to buy all of it. I want to collect it. And
But that's the difference, right? So then you were actually buying the art, and maybe there were little communities around, Rembrandt or something like that. I don't know. In this case, though, we have value beyond the art. In fact, I won't mention
mhm,
any of them that I think that I'm in, that I actually like the community more than I like the art,
yeah,
because I don't want to offend any of the artists here. And I also understand it's very subjective about what art you like. But I've got more PFPs than I know what to do with right now.
mhm,
And I just, this is just so different than the Renaissance in that way. Yes, it is a Renaissance in one way,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
but you have this other utility factor that is just, it changes the equation. And I haven't really thought through what this means in terms of valuation, market valuation versus personal valuation of these. But it strikes me there's something there that should be understood.
Yeah. And who knows what's going to happen. I mean, I know that there was some Discord you and I were on where I don't remember if it was the Mystics one or what, but someone could come and revive some of these dead PFP projects. Like,
We looked at
There's so
that.
many, yeah, there's so many neat things that can happen. I mean, even as far as saying like, hey, not only do you have a crypto dad and the crypto mom you got for that you were able to mint because you got the dad, and now you got the tot. You're also the OG owner of all three of those things. There could be other layers of rewards in the future that these projects are thinking about that I don't think that should prevent people from, again, no financial advice. That shouldn't prevent you from selling if you don't want to, but there's so many neat ways to do stuff with this and reward people.
Yeah.
I kind of want to create more wallets and put these in there and then forget I have those wallets, like finding money in old ski jackets or something like, and then
I,
in
I saw
5 years
someone on
find
Twitter
out like,
today
oh,
say he found an old wallet that he thought he'd emptied, but he found 3 Bitcoin in it. He's like, I was sure I emptied that.
yes.
And it's like, wow, what a good day that is. I
Yeah.
think there's something to be said for that, and particularly the ones that have gone down in value a lot. It's questionable whether, depending on what jurisdiction you're in, whether you're going to be able to claim losses on NFTs because
Yeah.
they're classified as not as investment vehicles, but as collectibles, which at least in the U.S. are treated differently. I think in some other jurisdictions they are as well. So you're in that case, you're better off just holding them because at some point
Yeah.
they
Yeah.
may get revived, either by the original project team or another one. And I did look at it salvaging a project that was looked like a clear rug pull
Yeah.
but had an interesting backstory and interesting community.
Yeah.
And we ultimately decided not to because it was not clear that the original founders might just come back and take it over themselves and sort of box us
Yeah.
out. So would have been a lot of effort for the community, but then just been screwed twice. But to me, that's going to be definitely an opportunity over the next year because I'm already seeing so many of these things without any life in them that launched in the last 8 weeks.
Yeah. Well, there's also old ones that are just cool, like the bonsai NFT, the
Oh, that's coming back.
Zen NFT. I love that artwork.
Yeah.
I minted a bunch of those. I still have some. I
You gave a
sold
bunch
some just
away.
because I had some. I gave a bunch away because I thought it was a neat way to get people into NFTs and they looked neat. I love Matthew McAllister's comment of like, well, it's about the same price as a real bonsai tree and I won't kill this one. But I just think there's some really cool stuff out there like that it's hard for me to let go just because I like it.
Cool.
Yeah.